Oh, get in there.
Oh, I just know it's gonna be.
Oh my gosh. She had some hang time on that. Just gonna follow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, but can they produce? He's trying to create something.
Hey,
Whoa.
chest. Okay.
It's alright.
Promising sequence.
Nice.
Let's go. Get in there.
Silky.
What's up, everyone? How's it going? This is Lesky here, back to another FIFA 22 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, we're going to be going over this right mid box-to-box midfielder that I have already posted on my channel before, but it wasn't much skill points. And now I'm level 20 and I have 87 skill points. Got a lot more skill points than the video I posted before. So this is kind of just an updated version of this right mid build. So let's get started with this build video. So taking a look at this build, we are 6'6", 119 pounds. In my prior video over this right mid build, I went for 6'4". This time I just went 2 inches taller just to try it out. And I actually like it. You can't go wrong either way, 6'4", 6'6". 6'4", you're gonna be a little bit taller. 6'6", I believe you have a little bit more defending, maybe more physical, also more shooting. So there's some bonuses being 6'6". Really just the bonus of being 6'4" is just a little bit faster, like one more pace, that's all. But if you look at the right mid position, I showed this in the earlier video with less skill points. But if you compare it to the left mid is bugged, or whichever one's bugged. The left mid or right mid, they don't have the same attributes. Like, you know how a left wing and a right wing have the same exact attributes? It doesn't change. It's just what side of the field you're on. But the left mid, for some reason, has -8 defending. If you see, it went from 65 defending, and if I go to back to right mid, it'll go up to 73. So you want to make sure you're not listed as left mid. Left mid is the worst position in the game until they fix that. I don't know why the left mid has -8 defending compared to a right mid, but just make sure you're listed as right mid. And that's basically why we're using this build as a box-to-box midfielder, more of a central midfielder. You can try it out wide, but I don't think it'll work as well. This is more of a box-to-box center mid build, but you're just listed as a right mid because you have actually really good defensive attributes. So again, we're 6'6", and then we are 119 pounds. 119 pounds just makes you the fastest possible, and because we are very tall, we want to go really skinny just to max out the pace at that height. So that's it for the height and weight. Let's jump on over to the perks for this build. For the first perk, we have the physical strength perk, and I have this on a ton of my builds. The only time I really won't have this on my build is if I'm using like a really skinny, fast build that I don't want to add strength on. I just think this is one of the best perks in the game. Even if your guy isn't that strong, has like 60, 70 strength, it'll bump it up to like 70, 80 strength, and then it'll also help your jumping, and then it'll increase your ball control too. It increases your strength, ball control, and jumping when jostling, shielding, or heading the ball. And it's very clutch, especially with a 6'6" build like this one. You're going to be getting in the box a lot for headers, volleys, and having that extra jumping ability is clutch. And then also for defense, just to body people off the ball or shield people off the ball when you have it. I really like the physical strength perk, and this is like a must on this build, is to make sure you have this physical strength perk. The second one is the skill dribbler, which is kind of the one perk that I would say you could change in and out. I would definitely keep the physical strength, but this one you could possibly switch. I just really like skill dribbler because it increases your dribbling, and as a tall guy, as a tall build, you want to increase the dribbling as much as possible to make you feel really silky and responsive. And it also gives you the flare trait. This is one of the main reasons. I really like the flare trait, making fancy backheel passes. It really catches the defense off guard. I'll show you guys a few examples of some backheels, some cheeky fancy passes. So that's basically why, just to increase the dribbling, make the tall build feel really smooth, and to also get the flare trait as a midfielder. And then the third perk, which I also think is a must on this build, y'all will see from a lot of the examples that I have, almost all the goals I score are using the one-time shot perk, mostly just being headers, because it gives you the power header, and then as well with the physical strength, increasing your jumping, you're an aerial threat. Even though your heading actually is not very good as a right mid, I'm not too sure what it is. We'll look at it on the skill tree. I think it's like 69, 70, nothing too great. But I've scored so many header goals with this build. You're off of corners, just off of crosses, set pieces. It's really good, and mainly just because of the power header. It gives you the power header, and it just adds more shot power onto your headers, and it just makes it more difficult for the keepers to stop and react to the headers. And then it also gives you the finesse shot, flare, outside foot shot, and then it increases your weak foot ability. And we have the 4-star weak foot on this build, so when you are taking one-time shots like volleys or just a one-time shot on the ground, with this build, it'll actually increase to a 5-star weak foot since we already have a 4-star weak foot. So that's why I have these perks. I really think you should have the physical strength and try out the one-time shot. But if you don't want the skilled dribbler, I would try maybe going like precision pass or threaded pass to increase the playmaking ability. Or if you like taking long shot bangers, you can go for distance shooter. We already have like pretty good long shots on this build. I think it's like 88. But if you want to add the distance shooter, it'll add more shot power and just makes your long shots even better. And then it'll also give you the 5-star weak foot from outside the box. So that's a good option as well. And then maybe active first touch. But if you're going to go for active first touch, I would honestly just go for skilled dribbler. But these are the perks I really like using: physical strength, skilled dribbler, and one-time shot. And also, I almost forgot, I actually used ball winner on this build as well. So that's the other option, is taking off skilled dribbler. And, taking off skilled dribbler and putting ball winner on like that. And it'll just increase the defensive abilities even more. The defensive attributes are like in the 70s, so this will bump it up even more and make you more of a box-to-box defensive-minded build. So that's an option. But for me, we were only playing with like 3 different players at the time, so I wanted to be a little bit more attacking. So I ended up taking the ball winner off and going for skilled dribbler, and I was actually a big fan of using the skilled dribbler. So it's really up to you guys with this perk on what you want to do. But that's it for the perks. Let's head on over to the skill tree now. Starting on the physical page, we just have this first strength that'll give you +2 strength for 1 skill point, and then we really just wanted this extra stamina, this +3 stamina to give us 80 stam, and then this one on the top right as well will give you +2, and that'll get you the total of 80 stamina. And then the physical attributes really aren't that good other than the reactions. 63 aggression's not too solid, 62 strength, and 73 jumping. That's really because we're 119 pounds. We are 6'6". You'd think we'd have a little bit more physical attributes, and we are right mid. Right mid's base attributes as well as wingers are just pretty weak, like their physical attributes. So you just got to keep that in mind. But we do have the physical strength perk to increase your strength. So hopefully that'll bump it up to like 70 something really. And then the jumping, it'll also increase your jumping as well. These physical attributes are honestly a little bit deceptive. I swear you feel a lot more stronger than it actually says. And then the jumping feels a lot better than it actually says. But again, it's probably that physical strength perk increasing it. On to defending, where we have a decent amount of skill points here. I was messing with the defending page quite a bit. I went all the way down to this interceptions at one point, but then I feel like I just wasn't noticing much of an impact. So I just increased the dribbling even more, I believe. But what I went for is to get this first interception to bump it up to 66. And then I'm just going to take this off. I went all the way down to this third one right here that'll give you +6 slide tackling and +2 stand tackling. All 3 of these things will give you that. And then that'll give you 72 stand tackling and 73 slide tackling, which is actually really good for a right mid. And then I got this other stand tackling, which will give you +3 stand tackling, and that'll bump you up to 75. And that's all I have on the defensive page. If you do have more skill points and you want to have more defensive abilities, I would try the standing and slide tackling. You would have to take something off, or if you already have max skill points, you could probably fit it in. I would try the standing and slide tackling. It'll give you +3 stand and +3 slide tackle for 5 skill points. And then I would go over to the interceptions, and it'll bump it up to 69 interceptions. And remember, I don't know if I mentioned yet in this video, but in my prior video, I mentioned the taller you are as a right mid, the better defensive abilities you have. So that's the main reason we are 6'6" with this build, and I was 6'4" in the earlier video. Just because the taller you go, the better defensive attributes you have. So keep that in mind. You don't really want to go too much shorter because it'll change your defensive attributes quite a bit. Like, I'll back out and show you guys. If I go down to 5'8", let's say, look at the defense, it goes down to 69. But when I go back to 6'6", it's back up to 73. So that's the main reason why you want to be tall for a right mid build. And then that's it for the defending. Let's hop on over to dribbling, where we actually have a lot of skill points here as well. You know I like my 5-star skills. For some of y'all that don't want the 5-star skills, feel free to take it off. You can take this one off or this one. I don't think it'll matter too much. You can keep everything else the same. And then I really just wanted this agility. I tried using this build without the extra agility, and I feel like I could tell quite a bit of a difference. I think I had this interceptions on, like I said, to bump it up to 69, but I ended up taking that off and getting the agility to 81 just to get it over 80. It made it feel a lot better, honestly, when I was dribbling and just making cuts. And yeah, that's it for this dribbling page, really. Utilize those 5-star skills if you're going to use them, but if you aren't going to utilize them, definitely just go for 4-star skills, and maybe some of y'all want to go for 3-star skills, but I would suggest at least trying 4-star skills first. But if you are going to use those 5-star skills, try using them to wriggle out of situations, especially when you're in the box to get a shot off, or maybe if you're getting high pressed and you need to do some skill to get out of that. Make sure you're utilizing them. But if you aren't confident with the 5-star skills, definitely don't use it. It's just a waste of skill points then. Take it off. Take one of the skill moves off and like add it to balance or add it to passing or maybe more defending. Like I said, yeah, just add it to interceptions or the stand tackle. Yeah, that's what you could do. You could add to the stand tackle. If you don't want the 5-star skills, you could just take off the 5-star skill because they're 5-star skill points, or they're 5 skill points, and then you can add it to this one, which is 5 skill points as well, and then you're good to go. So that's an alternative if you don't want the 5-star skills. You'll just make your build up even better defensively. But that's it for dribbling. Moving to passing, where we have 2 things on passing, and that's just upgrading the long pass and short pass. So the first one gives the short pass +2, and then the second one is +4 long pass, and that'll get us to a very well-rounded passing attributes that are pretty respectable, honestly. 82 vision, 83 crossing, 83 long passing, 83 short passing, and then 79 curve. Very good attributes for a center mid build. You can actually play make quite well with this build and throw some long passes, some accurate long passes, some really good short passes, and then also the crossing is very good. You're 6'6", but remember you are a right mid, so the base attributes for crossing are pretty decent, and then vision is pretty important for passing, so it's really nice to have over 80 for vision. And that's going to be it for the passing page. Let's take a look at shooting, and I wanted to get the 4-star weak foot, so that's the first thing we did. Let's make sure we go over here and get that 4-star weak foot, and then you're going to upgrade the long shots and shot power to 88 long shots and 73 shot power, and then we're just going to upgrade the finishing. We're going to get +8 finishing and +6 volleys from these 3 right here, and that'll get us to 80 finishing, 85 volleys, 88 long shots. We even have 84 free kick. Actually, we have this one right here because I just had 1 extra skill point, and there's really nothing else to put it on other than penalties and this free kick accuracy, so I opted to go for the free kick accuracy. But yeah, the shooting attributes are actually really good for a right mid, and we don't even have the finisher archetype on. If we did, we would have 85 finishing, which I don't think you should really go for. You're not going to be shooting too much, even though this is a box-to-box build. I think 80 finishing is sufficient enough, and then all the other attributes are really good other than the shot power. You would like the shot power to be a little bit more, but since the base attributes as a right mid for shot power aren't very good, and we are 119 pounds, we have a pretty low shot power attribute, but all the other stuff is pretty good. I guess you could increase it if you want. You could go over here, get +3 free kick actually, and then +3 shot power, and then I'll bump it up to 76 shot power, and then if you wanted even more, it would go up to 79. You get a lot of header chances with this build, but I really didn't notice the 69 heading actually, but I really think it was the one-time finisher perk, increasing the finishing on one-time shots and also giving me the power header. It made it feel a lot better than 69 heading actually. But now that's it for the shooting page. Taking a look at pace, where of course we went for the full pace upgrade, got the cheetah archetype, made sure we get everything in the corner right here, and that'll give us 87 acceleration, 88 sprint speed. On the first video I made of this build, the 6'4" build, I think it was 88 acceleration and 89 sprint speed, so it's only a 1 pace difference. And you really can't go wrong, like I said, you can't go wrong with either going 6'4" or 6'6". 6'6" just gives you a little bit more bonuses. You're just a little bit slower, but I don't think you're going to notice the pace difference anyways. So I honestly think I prefer 6'6" just because it makes you more of an aerial threat and more of a physical presence in the midfield. And also those really long, lanky legs, trying to go for slide tackles and just stand tackles, I feel like it helps a lot. And that's going to wrap up this updated version of this right mid box-to-box build. Please let me know in the comments if you do give this build a try, how it worked for you. And also if you could hit that like button on this video and hit that subscribe button on my channel if you aren't already subscribed. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.